Hello everybody, this is Cyrus here back with another Matchbox trio consisting of 2 new tools and 1 new deco. Starting off with our new deco, we have the Radical SR3 XXR in yellow with black accents. Continuing with any sort of car that's got a race car style silhouette, even though this next one's technically not a race car. We've got the 1997 McLaren F1 GT. And keeping the green theme going, we've got the Aston Martin Vanquish. Off this video, we'll start off with the Radical. I don't unfortunately have the debut deco in black with red accents, but I do have the inverted version we got last year in red with black accents. They're very similar. It would be nice to also see them maybe get a little bit more creative with the decos besides use the same pattern with just different colors. Still, I do think that this yellow version looks nice nonetheless, but that's just my personal opinion. It is worth noting that the spoiler is a separate piece, so I'm wondering if that's connected to the interior on this casting. Or maybe they're able to put that spoiler in since there's no windshield piece they need to add, and that spoiler's a separate piece. Comparing it quickly to the red one, not much to say other than the slight color difference. Otherwise, the shades of black appear to be very similar on both the stripe down the middle and the roll bars. The spoiler in the back appears to be using the same plastic as well. And just to quickly compare the two with the Radical logo on the spoilers. Also, the other difference that's worth noting is with the line color. Obviously, it's different to match up with the colors on both cars, but you can see the yellow one is more of a traditional yellow, while they went with a bit more of a metallic red finish on the red version for the line around the wheel. Even though this is essentially another version of this same deco but in a different color, it's still nice to see Matchbox starting to get into some more race car stuff, as the only other race car we have in their line currently is the Maserati MC12, but they will be coming out with a Glickenhaus race car at the end of this year that I'm really looking forward to, as are a bunch of other collectors. Next up, moving on to the Aston Martin Vanquish. This one is really unique in terms of its deco. We did get an Aston Martin in the Matchbox Collectors series last year, but unfortunately the deco on that one was horrible. The green wasn't that good. The gold hubcaps were obviously made out of plastic, and you could tell with the plasticky color. This version right here, flat out, looks so much better than what we got in the collector's line, in my opinion. And when looking at Lamley Group's roundup of the new models in the basic and collector's line, there was no comparison. Also, it's worth noting that the roof part is one of those single-piece windshields. The silhouette of this is also quite nice. We get a lot of older Aston Martins in the Matchbox range. It's a perfect car keeping with the British theme, since Matchbox is British. But it's also nice to get some more modern ones. Not much else to say on this casting, other than this would go really good in some of the British Roadway 5-packs, or maybe some of the Autobahn Express 5-packs that they start releasing in some of the years that follow. And finally, moving on to the McLaren. Even though this one is technically a supercar and not a race car, it's nice to see that we're getting something with a more race car style silhouette. And this McLaren was a good choice. I love the dark green they went with. I think a lot of collectors are also going to like the dark green. This is definitely going to bring some new collectors into the Matchbox range. And an interesting fact for anyone who was not too familiar, this casting was actually designed by Ron Wong, who would design supercars and race cars for Hot Wheels, and this is his first time designing a supercar for the Matchbox range. All the green you see being used is metal, and you can see where there's a kind of spoiler. It's not really an official spoiler, though, like on the Radical, connected into the body. There is tampos on both the front and rear. And it's also interesting to note that there is no transmission detail under the base compared to other Matchbox cars, but you can see there's all this bolt and rivet detail along with all these molded in lines for different panels, which I'm guessing are meant to be cover-ups for the chassis. So that way that when this is on the road, this allows for better speed and aerodynamics. Also, it's interesting to note with this particular one, the steering wheel is in the middle. It's kind of hard to see there. So with McLaren being a British brand, obviously they would have to redesign some of their models that they ship overseas to have steering wheels on the opposite side of the dashboard for use on North American roads. Well, with this one, you don't have that problem since the steering wheel is in the middle. It can operate on both roads, no problem. In terms of the three cars we looked at in this video, I do quite like the McLaren with its dark green color. Even though the design is more sleek and more interesting than the Aston Martin, I will admit that I really love that dark green, especially with the gold hubcaps. And it's also nice to see them do the radical in bright yellow with black accents. Yellow and black obviously complement each other, so that shouldn't be a no-brainer either. You can let me know in the comments down below which one of these three cars is your favorite. Will you be picking any of these up? Until then, that just about wraps it up for this video. Have a good, safe rest of your day, guys. Bye.